What is up, YouTube? JankyYGO here. My name is Michael, and we have a brand new archetype to talk about. That's right, a whole archetype has been spoiled called the Magistus, and we're going to be looking at them. So the first card is Magistus Grimoire Crowley, which is a level 4 Dark Spellcaster effect monster, 1800 attack, 1000 defense. You can only use each of its effects once per turn. Hard once per turn. You can send one spellcaster monster from your hand or face up on your field to special summon this card from your hand. You can declare one attribute. This card's attribute becomes that until the end of the turn. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Target one Magistus monster you control. Equip one Magistus monster except a level 4 from your graveyard to that target. Interesting. Works well with Invoked, I guess. That's what it kind of reminds me of already. Kind of reminds me of Invoked. You can change the attribute to whatever you want. That's cool. Lure of Darkness target. That's cool. It's a level 4, 1800, decent stats. It special summons itself, and I'm guessing all of them are going to have that third effect, and they're going to want to be in the graveyard, which is cool because that also gives Spellbook of Knowledge synergies as well. So yeah, this card is okay though. I think it might be the staple around the whole deck. Who knows? I'm excited. I love Spellcaster archetypes. They usually fit my bill for playstyles. So yeah, we're gonna move on. Magistus Very Cindrillion. Level 4 Light Spellcaster effect monster, 800 attack, 1800 defense. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can activate one of these effects. Add one Magistus monster from your spell trap card from your deck to your hand, or return one of your banished level 4 or lower spellcasters from to your graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Target one Magistus monster you control, equipped it except a level 4 from your graveyard to that target. Okay, that's interesting. I mean, this card's great. It's like already better than the first card, just because it adds a spell or trap card. Most spellcaster archetypes center around spells and traps anyway. Specifically, spells. Spellcaster, they cast spells. Anyway, yeah, this card is pretty good. I think it's definitely a 3 of, just for the add effect. It's probably going to be the most expensive card in this deck, because it is a waifu, as the kids say. And as I was looking at the Dragon Maids earlier for prices, I learned the deck doesn't need to be good just to have ridiculously expensive cards for no reason. Anyway, we're going to move on. Magistus Master Endymion. Level 4 Water Spellcaster effect monster, 1300 attack, 1700 defense. You can only use first and second effect of this card once per turn. You target one Magistus monster you control, equip one Magistus from your extra deck to that target. You can target one face-up spell you control, destroy it, and if you do draw a card, then place one card from your hand onto the bottom of your deck. This card is okay, I think. I'll have to see what the extra deck monsters do before I, completely give my verdict on it. Because it's kind of hard to evaluate the first effect when I don't know what they do when they're equipped. You can target. As for targeting a face-up spell card, destroying it, you control and drawing a card, that's fine. Just because we've already seen you equip them and stuff like that with monsters, that gives kind of a payoff, even though you're not gaining card advantage, you're just kind of cycling through your deck more, even if it is a hard once per turn. This card is probably fine. There's only 3 monsters in the main deck, so that's probably, you're probably going to play all of these cards, or this is going to be one of those splash archetypes. But so far, yes, this does remind me of the what this says up here about the Invoked, Endymion, and the Witchcrafter archetypes kind of fused. That's what it looks like. Anyway, the fusion monster. Magistus Saint Iwas. I'm going to butcher most of these names. Level 8 Wind Fiend Fusion Effect Monster. 2000 attack. 2800 defense. A Magistus monster. And 1 Spellcaster monster. Art, its materials. Its first effect. Hard once per turn. During the main phase, quick effect, you can target one face-up or one other face-up monster on the field. Equip this card to that monster. If this is equipped to an opponent's monster, that monster cannot activate its effects. Also gain control of it. A monster equipped with this card, it gains 1000 attack and defense. Okay. That's interesting. I mean, that's pretty cool. So, I guess in the mirror map, I mean, you can use this to, buff up one of your dude or freaking her and just attack. Okay, that's big old beat stick for an effect. And if you normal summon it, or if you not normal summon it, if you fusion summon it, you can steal an opponent's monster. Which, at quick speed too, at spell speed 2. So, that can disrupt your opponent, and that's cool. Next up, Magistus Dragon Vafram, level 8 Fire Dragon Synchro, 2500 attack, 2900 defense, tuner plus non-tuner monster, one or more non-tuner monsters I should say, so it's generic. If this card is synchro summoned, or this synchro summoned card is destroyed, destroy all face-up cards your opponent controls. A monster equipped with this card cannot be destroyed by an opponent's spell or trap effects. At the start of damage step, when a monster equipped with this card battles an opponent's monster, you can destroy that monster. So it has a Ally of Justice Catastor like equip ability, which is also good at getting over stuff. You don't have to worry about inflicting battle damage or attacking over it. When you just attack and at the start of damage step, boom, it's gone. I think that's great. Its first effect to, if it's destroyed, you destroy all your opponent's cards. That could be great too, especially if there's a, fat, easy way to to destroy it in this deck. This might be one of those archetypes where you kind of splash it. We'll have to see. And then, it prevents, and it also protects the equipped monster as well. So, overall, this is probably, so far, I haven't seen what the XYZ does, but so far, of my impression, this is the card we're going to be using to equip a lot of the time. But let's see what the XYZ does before I make that final judgment. Oh, there's also a Link monster. Neat. So, Magistus Goddess Ninaruru, rank 4, XE or Earth Rock XYZ, 1800 attack, 2400 defense, 2 level 4 Spellcaster monsters. You can only use this card's name first and third effect per turn. Detach a 1 material. You can target 1 level 4 or higher Spellcaster monster in your hand or in your graveyard and add it to your hand. Okay. A monster equipped with this card can make 2 attacks during each battle phase. If this card is currently equipped to a monster, you can target 1 Magistus monster in your spell and trap card zone and 1 spell and trap card your opponent controls and destroy them. Okay, this one is kind of like the OTK one. You equipped it and then just go to attack. So yeah. So the synchro is what you want to equip onto things. This is also kind of what you want to do if you want to go to try to push for game and OTK. I think this one is really good too. So far, the fusion is kind of lacking in terms of what I think is good enough. And these two are okay for pushing per game. Next up, Magistus, Maiden Artemis. Level 1, or Link 1, light spellcaster link effect monster. Its link arrow is just straight up. 800 attack, and its materials are 1 level 4 lower spellcaster monster. You can only special summon it once per turn. You can only use this card's first and second effects once per turn each. If another Magistus monster is normal or special summoned, while this card is already in the monster zone, you can target one of that monster's and equip this card from your field to that monster. If this card is currently equipped to a monster, you can add 1 Magistus monster from your deck to your hand. Okay, so this is the one you use to set up with that 1 level 4 that equips right from the extra deck. Equip her, go searching. Okay, you search for the girl, the light one that searches when it's normal or special summoned. You search for a spell trap card. I'm assuming there's going to be a spell trap card that lets you special summon. So you special summon that. That's where my head is at for this deck. I haven't read the spells and traps. We'll have to see. So far, I like all of these except for the fusion. I think the fusion is a little bit lacking, but other than that, so far so good. Tris Magistus is a continuous spell card. Each Magistus monster you control that is equipped with an equipped card cannot be destroyed by battle once per turn. During your main phase, you can special summon 1 level 4 monster from your hand. There you go. That's the one. If this card is sent from your spell and trap card center to the graveyard, you special summon any number of Magistus monsters with different names from your hand. Dang, that's good. That's real good, actually. That's an easy 3. That's like a 2 or 3 of, I think. That's an easy 3 of, probably. That card's... okay, I like this card a lot. Definitely great. Theologia of Theology Magistus. I'm assuming its TCG name will be translated to like Theology of Magistus, because it makes more sense to that. Anyway, quick play spell card. Hard once per turn for activation, so you can activate 1 of it. Target 1 Magistus monster you control, equipped 1 Magistus monster from your extra deck, field, or graveyard. Use that deck except for a level 4 monster. If there are at least 1 of each, a fusion, XD, synchro, and link monster in your graveyard, you equip 1 non-fusion, synchro, XDs, or link monster from your extra deck with this effect instead. Or non-Magistus. Okay, so you get a non-1 if you have each of those in your graveyard. That's going to be a little bit harder to pull off, I think. But there are cool things you can do with that. If you know, you do pull that off, there are a lot of really strong things you can do with that. Next up, it's a normal spell card, Magistus Invocation. It's the fusion spell. So, let's see if this is just polymerization, or if, you know, you can do something else. Fusion summon 1 fusion material, or fusion monster that lists the spellcaster as fusion material from your extra deck using monster you control to your hand, or field. Control or in your field. If you're fusing summoning a Magistus monster, you can also use equipped monsters. Okay, not bad. Not great. We've been spoiled with fusion cards, to be honest. Like, from the older archetypes, like Shadow Fusion doing it from the deck, and even the Invoked one doing it from the graveyard or field or hand, basically being like a super miracle fusion. It's just, we've been too spoiled to have basically a polymerization with not a really good upside in my opinion. I do think that it's decent though that this card and the level 4 water are like a one card fusion. You know, you equipped one of these monsters and you just fuse. Next up, Vitra Magistus. Normal spell card, target one level 4 or lower Magistus monster in your graveyard, special summon it. If a Magistus card in your spell or trap card would be destroyed by an opponent's card effect, you can banish this card from your graveyard instead. This is an archetype monster reborn, and you should play it. It protects your spell and trap cards too. Specifically, your equips and that that super good continuous spell that's kind of the bread and butter of this deck so far. And yeah, that's it. That's all of the Magistus cards. So, if it is your birthday today, happy birthday. If you want to send me any cool deck profiles or replays, our email is in the description. And of course, have a wonderful day.